Here is the look today. This is one of my favorite thrifted dresses that I found at a Savers. And it's perfect for the sunshine and the warm weather. The store is brutal right now. We're having AC problems, and it's 80 degrees outside. Probably gonna be like 100 degrees inside the store. So I'm not ready for that. But, you know, dress. And I started off by reading The Jasmine Throne, got 70 pages into it, and with all the stress going on right now, I don't think I will be able to read it. But what I did pick up this morning and started reading was Rule for Love by MK England. And this is about two girls who used to be friends. One of them, Harper, is moving cross country from California back to Virginia at her grandparents' farm and, reunites with her old best friend. And it seems like they had a little beginning of something when she left 6 years ago, but now they are in a joint Dungeons and Dragons group with a couple of Ollie's friends, and romance is gonna ensue. Is this necessarily a royalty book? Not really. I was hoping, because it's Dungeons and Dragons, that maybe it might be set in a kingdom like the game or something, and I'm not far enough in that to confirm. But regardless, 50 pages in, 260 pages. I'm hoping that it is just sweet and lighthearted and flies very fast, because I just want to keep reading, but I don't want to power through a 500-page book right now. So that's where we're at. I'm going to try and get a milk tea before heading into work at a place right down the street. Hopefully that works out, and then we will see what the day provides. I go from Hartford, Connecticut. I'm attending NEBA Spring Forum, which, if you don't know, that is the New England Booksellers Association spring conference, in a way, where we hear from authors, we hear from representatives from publishers that are selling some books to us, and just being around other booksellers. So I am in my room. I drove 2 hours and I am starving. I am so hungry, and I need to show you what my meal is. Look at this. Look at that. It's a braised short rib, grilled cheese, and french fries. And it came with such a cute little bottle of ketchup. I love ketchup. So yeah, I'm gonna eat, and then we'll see what I can work on after that. I wanted to work, do some actual work, but the Wi-Fi is being pain right now. So we'll see. Time to eat. Good morning. So today is the first and the fullest day of NEBA Spring Forum. I'm wearing one of my favorite outfits. I just feel like a true bookseller, bookish person today. Way better than I did when I was walking into the hotel. This is definitely a center for business class, and that feels a little uncomfy, because I feel like I'm getting stared at, and I hate that feeling. And yeah, I have a full itinerary of things, but I wanted to hop on and say that I didn't read More of Tokyo Ever After, I believe. Last night I got into a Netflix reality show that sucked me in for the rest of the evening. So there's that. But I did forget to mention that I listened to an audiobook on the way here. It's called A Queen's Game by Katharine McGee, and I'll hopefully have a cover right here for you. I have the ARC at home, but I wanted something to listen to on my drive and hoped that it would be an audiobook. And it's great. I would say that if you want another Bridgerton-esque story. This is definitely fitting the bill. Anything that's like marketed as Bridgerton, I'm always like, the ones I have read, I'm like, not quite. And this one is definitely feeding that energy. I don't know if Bridgerton was thrown into the marketing. If not, they failed miserably, because this matches with that so accurately. There's three main characters. We have May, Hélène, and Alex. And the three of them are all, well, not all, but two. We have May, who is trying to find a suitable prospect for marriage and finally be something. Her father definitely tears her down and is definitely like verbally abusive, not physically, but her parents are going through it and, you know, kind of forgetting to care for their child. So we kind of see how that affects her character. Hélène is a French duchess, I believe, and she and her family have been exiled from France, and she has no interest in getting married. But I have some speculations on what's going to happen with that, and she's definitely spunky, she's definitely rebellious. And then we have Alex, who is the pretty girl, and she is the granddaughter of Queen Victoria, and she is, on paper, if you will, supposed to marry the prince who will become the King of England, but she doesn't want that. So we're going to see how things turn out with that. But all three of them, you know, they're in the same circles. And yeah, I mean, it's just drama. It's just romance. And it's royalty, which fits the bill for this challenge, this month's challenge. I don't know what's going on with me mentally in terms of like my reading. I think there's a lot of changes that have been happening really quickly, and so I'm just like trying to process it, and I haven't had my like normal weekends yet. So I think that's affecting me, and I don't know, part of me is just like scared of being into something, because I think what my anxiety does is like I want to be very aware of everything going on around me, and I don't allow myself to let go for a moment and just like lose myself into a fictional world these days. And then to get a little personal, I'm a little nervous for today because I find it hard to be out in the open and try and connect with different people. And so I'm just really hoping that I can connect with someone today. This is like kind of independent, like being at this event, like I don't really have someone that I can immediately attach to, which is what I do when I'm anxious about these kinds of things. So let's hope that I can connect with a few booksellers, maybe bump into people that I've already met before, and hopefully have a fun day. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm missing home already, and this is like the fight or flight kind of behavior, I think, where I'm just like, I want to fly away, I want to go home and be comfy in my chair and not socialize, but I want to hear about all the books. So that's what we're here for. That's what I have to remember. I'm here to learn. They do like roundtable discussions and informational sessions, so hopefully I am educated on something new, or just educated on something regarding book selling and book managing, bookstore managing, and all that stuff. So yeah, sorry for the little somber attitude with this clip, but I think I'm really wanting to get past whatever's going on right now and get back into actually reading and enjoying books. It's been a little bit, so hopefully things work out today. See you soon. Oh my goodness. Hello. Sorry if the AC is distracting and everything, but I just wanted to come on here and give an update. It is May 14th, and I have not finished a single book. I'm halfway through Tokyo Ever After in a Queen's Game still, but oh my god. Life's been lifing. There are just so many things going on, but my hope is I finally have an evening of rest, and I'm gonna try and listen to the rest of A Queen's Game. I'm gonna try, and then while I'm doing that, I'm gonna work on my Jane Austen word search book and just try a bit more of that. Yeah. So just came on here to give an update that hopefully I will be able to finish a princess book in May very soon. So yeah, that's the scoop. Okay, bye. Wow. What day are we on? We are on May 19th, okay? And I finally finished the 2 novels I have been trying to read since the beginning of this month, okay? We have 2 successful princess reads. We started off the month when I went to Spring Forum, listening to the audiobook of A Queen's Game by Catherine McGee. And this was 5 stars. We also, in the midst of that, the book I did not take to Spring Forum with me, or I think I did. No, I did. I did try to get into it. Finally finished it last night, and that is Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean. Okay? Wow. To both. Another 5 star. Okay? Both of these, this one already had a sequel come out that I do plan on reading called Tokyo Dreaming. This one has the sequel coming out at the end of this year, A Queen's Match. So, technical duologies that I just started. What I really loved about A Queen's Game is that it had inspiration of a historical context. And I really, I would say anything that was marketed as Bridgerton before in a YA sphere, this one matches that way more than any others I've seen compared to Bridgerton. Drama, romance, love triangles and tribulations, and a whole bunch of other things like that. And the narrator, Imogen Wild, I believe, is the narrator of the audiobook, killed it. Like, doing a Len's French accent and then, like, the American accent, it sounded more like European or British, the accent that I believe she actually speaks. But just giving that kind of variation of characters was great. And then, there was 3 storylines, and I really loved Elend's the most, but I really did like the other 2, Alex and May's as well. And I'm very excited about the sequel, and I'm glad I read it this year because now I don't have to wait that long. So A Queen's Game, boom, done. Princess read, there we go. Tokyo Ever After. I don't remember too much of The Princess Diaries, the movies, with Anne Hathaway from when those were out, but what I do believe is that this book would be kind of compared to that. We follow Izumi, who finds out that her father is a prince of Tokyo, and she goes to Japan to meet him, and the tabloids are getting all involved. Drama ensues. There's a romance plot in there. Betrayal. I mean, does it get any more juicy than that? But I just loved the main character. I loved the family aspect. I loved that there was no, like, ill will between dad and mom. And I'm hoping for the best with the both of them. And, like, yeah, like, even though the voice is very teenager, it wasn't insufferable teenager, if that makes sense. Like, this came out in 2021, so it's been a few years. I can definitely see the difference between books that were written even like 4 years ago than they are now, where they're written more for an adult audience than an actual teen. So this was like kind of refreshing for that kind of voice, and it made me realize that I miss books that just read for teens, you know? So that's that. We read 2 princess books so far. And I say so far because I have 2 weekends back to back finally, except like going into open one of my days off next week. But regardless, like, I have some more time now that I should be able to fit in 1 more or 2 more books before the end of the month. And like, shout outs, I did read like, well, I read a manga, okay? I read a manga that I'm gonna, just share with you all. It's, what is it? It's the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all, okay? I, hands down, knew I was gonna love it after a booktuber recommended it and said how sapphic it was, and like, oh my god. Wow. Okay, just wow. And there's another volume out that I want to get immediately as soon as I can, and just plow through that. And like, if you are really looking for something just sweet and queer and just like really unique in the art design, because it has like green and black and white, so that kind of contrast is interesting, but it actually works, and it's not like gross to read, if you will. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then I have a box set of like Kit, the American Girl like character Kit, that like I read the first book of just for like nostalgia reasons. Like, there's an event going on that involves American Girl, like book wise, and I'm gonna attend that. And yeah, so I'm just like in my nostalgia mode with American Girl dolls stuff going on, because like I used to play with them. I used to love it. We had an American Girl doll store near me a long time ago. It's gone now, which is unfortunate. I went to the one in New York not too long ago. That was really cool to go back into that kind of space. Yeah, so there is all that. I need to figure out where I want to go next with my reading, because I am so lost right now, you guys. I am very lost. It's hard to pick what to read next. I don't enjoy that part of it, but let's see what the next book will be, shall we? Hello, it is May 22nd, and I finished another book. So we're 3 full-length novels in to May's reading. However, I did not read A Princess Story. So I'm a little disappointed in myself about that. However, I do want to share what I read. I read Pedro and Daniel by Federico Arabia. And this is about 2 brothers. And what was really cool about this novel is that we follow them from like age 5 to when they're adults. And this isn't a light read by any means. This follows the 2 of them as they are dealing with abuse from their mother, and dealing with their queerness and discovering that within each of themselves. We go back and forth between the 2 brothers in their perspectives, and we follow their sibling, like their relationships with their siblings and their father, and their grandparents, and, you know, being Mexican and also dealing with colorism. And yeah, it is a heavy book. Um, but for its uniqueness and its formatting and how it's written, it's like a mixture of verse and prose and pictures, and, like, you know, each part has a different kind of way of portraying the story of both of these brothers. And yeah, I mean, on a personal level, I did not really enjoy it as much as I would have liked to. I think my main issue with it was just in the formatting. Like, there was a lot going on. And the author said that this initial idea was going to be a picture book and not a full novel, but the editor had pushed for him to make a full novel. And, like, I think it's gorgeous. Like, I think that the way this design is from the cover to the interior is really stunning. And I think ultimately, even if it wasn't a great novel, it is an important one. And that's why I wanted to just share it with you all. Yeah. So Pedro and Daniel, it is primarily a YA, but like I said, it goes from very young age to adult. Very sad, very heartbreaking. So if you want books that are family centric, that are deep, that are um, filled with pain and sorrow and heartbreak and emotion and anger, all that kind of stuff, I recommend this book. So that is that. We have a new shelf in our collection, so now I have really big, grand brown cases and some white, because I'm still trying to upgrade to brown. And yeah, so I need to figure out what to read next. And I won't share what my ideas are because I'm not 100% on them anyway. It may be a princess book. It may be something totally off the rails, like Pedro and Daniel, compared to what I was trying to do this month. It's my birthday tomorrow. I will be going to an author event after I am done with work, for an American Girl anthology. So some nostalgia there, I'm sure. Yeah, and nothing really big on my day like that I plan on doing. So there's that, and I will update you when I know what I'm reading next. Hello and good morning. It is May 24th. I am now 24. And yeah, I mean, yesterday I went to an author event at work where we had two editors for an American Girl anthology. And yes, I mean American Girl doll, okay? I have one still in my collection that was Girl of the Year in 2001, Lindsay. And yeah, it was a really great event, and I'm very looking forward to reading that at some point. Some people had their dolls, and I regret not taking mine. Mind you, she's not wearing the best outfit. And now that I have her back in my possession and she's not at my parents' house, I may get like an outfit or two for her just to match the vibes of my shelves. But what I do want to say is that I thought I was going to get into Almost There, the twisted tale regarding Princess Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. And I started it, I got like 50 pages in, but the twist that we're going with is not what I thought it was going to be. So that was a little underwhelming. And I still want to get to it at some point, but for right now, I'm just pausing on that. And this morning I tried another one that I pulled for this challenge, and flew through the first 50 pages. So this is probably the one we're going to go with next. It is called Liar's Kingdom, by Christine Salea, Kalela, something like that. and this is a Cinderella retelling. And what I love about this is we follow Elaine, I believe, and she is, as Cinderella is in the movies, she's a scullery maid to her stepmother and two stepsisters, and no parents are in the picture, and she's still doing all the cooking, cleaning, and all of that. But at the beginning of the novel, the prince comes to their home and is looking for his lost love because the ball, she runs away, all that kind of stuff. And of course, Elaine, or Elle in this case, fits the shoe, right? The glass slipper. But she never went to the ball and she never met the prince. And so now she's swept away into this court life and has to lie her way out of it. And there's going to be twists and turns, I hope. It already started off pretty violent, so if you don't like vivid, gory details, I don't recommend this. I think it's going to get a lot worse from here, but wow, I think what I was hoping for in Almost There is in this book, which is why it hooked me right away. So we'll see how it continues to go. I'm pleasantly surprised that this hooked me right away, because I feel like retellings are so overdone at this point with princesses especially. So I'm just so enamored by the fact that she never went to the ball and never met the prince, and twists and turns and all that stuff. So Liar's Kingdom. I do also want to shout out to my dress that I'm wearing today. Yay! This came from Modern Millies in Salem, Massachusetts, and wow, we are really feeling very princessy today. So that is that. I will keep trying to plow away at Liar's Kingdom. My hope is that I will finish it before my weekend starts. So I'm giving myself 3 days to finish it, and we'll see how we do. So onwards. We are having quite a day. It's May 29th, or what is it? 29th, yeah. So almost done with May, and I have another book to talk about, and that is Liar's Kingdom by Christine Colella, I believe. I don't know. This was another 5-star. So we've had 3 5-star princess books. I really was invested the whole way through, and what I loved the most was just the idea of lying and getting through this crazy situation. And it had fae involved, which I'm not a big person of fae. When it's in books, I'm usually steering away from that, but this was classic fairies, which, or it just a little more on the ethereal side, and not so, it kind of on the trickster side. It was a refreshing take, okay? I didn't really like The Cruel Prince. Sue me, I know. But yeah, that version of trickery, fae, and everything like that just doesn't appeal to me. But something in this worked, which I'm very happy about. And, just a fresh take on Cinderella, and that whole story. And cast of characters were amazing. Writing, dialogue, on point. So, Liar's Kingdom, highly recommend. It is out now. Came out this January, and definitely deserves more fanfare than it actually got. I believe Page Street YA sent me an art copy of this a long time ago. So yeah, very thankful for that, and am very happy that I found another book that immediately gripped me, and I was able to fly through it within a couple of days. We are ending off May with one more royalty book, but this time with a prince. Gotta give some princes some love in this video as well. I
was trying to finish it this morning, but we've had quite a day where I made a scheduling mishap, and then I got lost in some work, so I did some more overtime, and then a bird pooped on my shoulder. So, for whatever reason, today was like, you're done with your weekend, here's all the crap for today. So that really sucks because I was supposed to go in later today and then have my morning to just relax and sleep and hopefully finish this book, but I did not. But we're going to try to before the end of this month. I'm hopeful. But that is Finding Prince Charming by Jamar J. Perry and Bloomsbury YA. Always fantastic working with them. They sent me an arc of this, which comes out next month. We follow Tyreek, who is recently broken up with his ex, who is too afraid to come out to his parents and admit that they've been seeing each other. And the ex won't leave Tyreek alone. And Tyreek is trying to get a scholarship, like a full ride scholarship to attend college. And he misses his first opportunity, but someone working in student services makes a deal with him that if he is his date to a fancy gala, that he will get him a second interview. And he holds up his end of the bargain, and Tyreek goes to this gala with Desmond. Little does he know that after this fake date, the paparazzi are around and they're taking photos, and night of, we find out that Desmond is a prince. And that turns Tyreek and his family's life completely upside down, and now they are trying to fix that. I think if you can guess from the cover, we know where this is going. So far, like, it's a speedy read. It's very easy to understand the concept of what's going on. It's just another fake dating, boy meets prince type of dealio. And, I mean, I like Tariq's character. I like Desmond's character. I'm not in love with this book. So this will not be a 5-star read for me. I can already tell. However, like, to have a Black queer romance again in, out there in the traditional publishing sphere is always great. This author primarily came out with a middle grade series and middle grade books, and so I believe this is his YA debut. A promising start. I mean, I just knew that when I got sent this copy and like requested it, that I was hoping I could put it in this video because it makes sense. So yeah, Finding Prince Charming. I am currently on page, 172 out of 259. So less than 100 pages. If I get home early enough and have not been dead on the floor by the time I do, I will finish it tonight. But yeah, I don't know what's in the air today, but it's not great, and I really hate that. So there's that. Let's see how the rest of the day goes. It will be a long one for sure. Why, hello. It is June 2nd. May is officially coming past, and I had recovered Royalty May. Thank God. But I do want to talk about the final book that will conclude our episode today, and then I will talk about, I'll talk a little bit about what to expect for June. The final book that I finished for Royalty May was Finding Prince Charming. 3 out of 5 stars, unfortunately. What I didn't like was we rushed through this. This is like a 200 something page book, which I feel like was a detriment to it in the end. And like, I feel like the author's intention could have been to write an adult romance, because like it's the main character is 18 and the love interest is 19. There's definitely definitely sexual innuendos, if not like definitely getting almost to the moment before the moment actually happens, which like kind of threw me off because like you look at this and this feels more like a 16-17-year-old YA and not like a new adult romance, like, you know, stuff. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it's important that we have this kind of story now because, like, you know, Black Princes. I mean, I feel like The King is Dead by Benjamin Dean would fit this. I like got 60 pages in and haven't picked it back up, and I think I unhauled it, unfortunately. But like, I would pair these in the same kind of vein. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed because, like, you know, I wanted my prince rep to be like really extraordinary like the princess reps, but unfortunately it was not. I mean, 5 stars to A Queen's Game, to Tokyo Ever After, and then what was the last? Oh, Liar's Kingdom, duh. Yeah, so those 3, all 5 stars. So, you know, like, are they at favorites level? They come close. I don't, but they are very memorable in their own way and very happy to have read and found them. Unfortunately, I will be unhauling Finding Prince Charming. But I hope that the right person, the right reader will find this. I always donate to like my little free libraries because I mostly have ARCs, which you can't sell anywhere. They're unsellable. Some people get away with it, unfortunately, but for me, I go to little free libraries and donate them, and I love the ones that I frequent, seeing all the books gone wherever they're taken off to. Yeah, so there's that. I had a decent birthday. I think there's just a lot of life things going on, and so, you know, things like that kind of get pushed to the side momentarily. But yeah, afternoon tea, we did a little bit of that, and I'm 24 now, so 1 year older. Yeah, so for June, the month of Pride, if you don't know, I am bisexual. Very proud of it, even though I'm married to a straight man, and that is okay. I love who I love. That is the gist of it at the end of the day. So month of Pride, we are not doing a Pride Month readathon, read along, whatever you want to call it, unfortunately, because I feel like that's just a little predictable. So what I'm doing instead is I'm going to try and listen to my inner voice and read books that I predict I will give 5 stars. I've never done a challenge like this. I don't know if I know myself well enough to pick books I will give 5 stars. So we'll see how this goes, okay? Look for a searching for 5-star reads in June, okay? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like to. I do this for fun. Just because it gives me a platform to talk about books and hopefully connect with some of you viewers. So thank you, and onwards to a hopefully reader-filled June.